Hello, I'm here in my studio and I'm just going to show you working on some dry points that I've done with by hand monoprint. We'll get started on that. If you'd like to see any more videos, please subscribe and like the video. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at RuthAnderPrints there, and also pop along to my website where you can join my mailing list. You get a nice monthly email of new work and workshop dates and things like that. You can also see what work is available to buy as well on the website. So that's ruthander.co.uk. So these are the pieces I'm going to be working on today. These are dry point etchings. I actually made an etching plate from a dry point card, which is kind of just like shiny card really, that you can scratch the shiny bit away. So that's where these lines have come from. As I put the plate through the press with the paper on, I'd also added some monoprint onto the plain bit of the plate, the bit where there wasn't any scratching, any scratch marks or drawing. So this is monoprint here. So I've just rolled ink on and I've wiped it off with my hand or a rag. So this is actually a view of Uffington Castle. Well, you might know it better as the White Horse. There's a Neolithic white horse scratched into the chalk downland there, and this is quite close up, so it kind of doesn't look like a horse at all. But when you're standing right next to it, it just kind of looks like just white marks in the earth, really. But it's a beautiful view out across, I suppose, Oxfordshire countryside. So the kind of view I love. So these have had some collage in already. So I've added collage, but I'm not really happy, particularly with these two here. I'm not particularly happy with them. They need something more. The sky needs some darkness, I think, probably in it. Maybe some lightness as well. I don't like this area down here so much. So I'm going to be playing around with this with monoprint now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is roll out quite a dark purpley, bluey purple colour here. And I'm going to be rolling that onto the sky of a couple of the pieces that I'm not so happy with at the moment. Just check for oil on my roller. I think just take a little bit off there. These rollers are prone to getting ink in the edges. And we don't want that on our artworks. So I'm going to roll this out. I'm not really rolling it to make it look good on the plastic. I'm rolling it so that I get a good even amount on my roller. Okay, so I'm going to start work on this one here, and I'm going to put some darker area here. So let's go. Just got to plunge in, I think, with this. I don't want to cover up this nice bit here, because I really like that line there. So I want to show at least some of that. And I also want to get a bit more of an edge to this dark colour. So I'm getting the ink right up to the edge of my roller here. In fact, I'm going to turn the picture around so I can get that edge, hopefully. There we go. That's a bit more like it. And then I kind of like to get these sort of gradations of darkness as well, which I think kind of often looks like real rain. Yeah, so I'm liking that actually already. Okay. So the next colour that I'm going to roll out is a very, very light white, slight purple. And I'm going to put that onto this piece here. I'm not entirely sure whether I want to make it lighter or darker, so I'm going to start with lighter and then I can always go darker. So again, I'm going to roll out this paint. This is actually oil paint. I don't really use printmaking inks. Really, that's from the days when I almost exclusively used to print onto tissue paper. You don't need printmaking inks for that. But actually now I just really love them because the colours are amazing. And for things like rolling ink onto paper, you don't really need the thickness of printmaking inks. Okay, so again, I want to save the parts that I like. So I love this line along here at the bottom. It just kind of looks really beautiful. I don't like this area so much, so I'm going to roll over it, see if I can kind of soften it up a bit. Yeah, liking that. Okay, so I've managed to soften these marks here that I didn't like very much, but kept these ones here. So I'm quite pleased with that. And what I might actually do is try and put some light marks down here on the land as well, to kind of look as if the sun is shining through that area. And the other thing that I'm going to do actually is scratch into that nice wet paint now. So this is quite wet now, and it won't dry for a couple of days actually, so you can do this whenever, just to give it a bit more texture. I'm just using a piece of mount card here, the corner of it and sometimes the flat of it as well. And it's just kind of creating that rather nice, very subtle rain effect. I'm being quite rough here. So I'm not sure if you're picking that up on the camera, but a really subtle effect there where I've just scratched into that wet paint. And I'm going to use the same colour actually to go over this one here. So I've already worked on this one a little bit. So I have added some kind of purpley colours, but it's too dark, so I'm just going to try and lighten it up a bit with this really lovely light colour. Right, again, I'm going to turn it around to make it a bit easier to roll. Okay, and I'm very gently going to go over this sort of blurred out sun as well. I want it to look like the rain is coming over it, but I don't want to obliterate it completely. Now, I would say that is still a little bit too dark for my liking, so I might even put some lighter on at some point. And you can see here that actually here I have put on some little highlights on the land, and I think it really makes the whole thing sing a little bit more.